Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to The Evil Within 2. So, something happened, and I'm not quite willing to say that the game crashed because my entire Steam client was closed at some point. And when I decided to come back a day or two later, after playing that first episode, we're back here. Which is weird because we only saved right at the office at the beginning, so we may just have to run through this entire the entire section that we were in. No, it doesn't seem like it's that bad. It does seem like the game does have some checkpoints. Of course, the problem now is I don't really know like where. Yeah, I don't remember any of the buttons. This game was really slow. This is not a bad point for there to have been a checkpoint, but it's not a great point. Alright. And the part of the problem here is that this is just totally not actually what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to hold the right bump and then curl around while you're holding the right bump. And it really doesn't tell you that, and it really doesn't really check on you to make sure that you're on the right bump instead of just walking crouched behind it. See, that you can kind of tell they don't care about the stealth mechanic. They've made it super easy, at least on this mode. Look here, you also jump to certain points. Like if I'm here, it jumps there, but if I'm over a little this way, it jumps all the way there, and then it just leaves you like to figure out that you have to click the search team number. That you have to click the right stick to get any further than that. You'd think probably a checkpoint at this point would be fine.
Find a way out of here.
I guess it doesn't really matter though, because we really were just down this hallway, and then it puts you in a kind of weird position where we have a horror section this way, and we have this. I guess I'm supposed to be spooking around a lot of this. Left stick, climb over. I don't know if we are going to just find collectibles here in the form of files. A photograph with another murder victim. This is a Mobius uniform. Well lit, and in focus it looks like a gun was used to shoot him in the head. The problem here is that this game pretty much feels like it's gonna be wrapped up very quickly unless these Mobius victims get shot or killed over and over again. We're still debating about whether I want to have infinite stamina or not. Would probably have been helpful if this had been laid out better. Okay. So you can't jump down, it seems. Okay, well that eliminates a need here. This is still very weird. It feels like there should be an option here with the camera. Let's see. Controls. Sprint, toggle, cover, hold versus toggle. I think I'd probably want toggle on that. Quick turn enabled. Personal menu display. We don't even have any weapons yet. Invert mouse look, y-axis. No, there's no option here. Usually you wouldn't even have an option there. But you've got this weird thing where I'm just pushing the right stick, and at a certain point it just snaps away from the camera being a thing that would turn the character into the camera just being something that's floating around his head. But then it kind of snaps back too, because he does move the flashlight, and this is the part you should look here, is that at a certain point here the flashlight is not pointing behind him, because that would be silly. But then it starts to control the flashlight at this angle, and that is literally controlling his head at this angle. And then at a certain point it just stops again, and then as soon as you start to move, he'll move in that general direction. But if I turn around like this and press this way, it takes quite a while for him to turn around. That's typically not how I've experienced a lot of these games. Usually there's some small percentage of your camera right stick will direct the character to look in a certain direction at least, and be set up in such a way that you're at least ready to walk in that direction. And see, this is 2 more bodies, which pretty much means there's only 1 more body that we've even seen. We could even see outside of our daughter, because yeah, there was only allegedly 5 team members here, unless this is all a lie. At which it might just all be a lie, or it might be a case that we just see the people die over and over again. And we have an oddly non-linear path. So now I have this toggle mode. But the toggle mode still doesn't really feel like it's the thing. Is there a guy over there? Or is that just a swinging body? And it seems like we've kind of gone just in a circle, and we're back into the room with the large sashes, but that's not the case. It's just that the theme of photographs and sashes seem to be constantly being used. It's a little weird that these eyeball pictures are not indicators of the eye actually doing something, seeing something, seeing you. Of course, then the game would be really, really hard to avoid being detected. Somebody clearly has seen that movie, The Cage, and been heavily inspired by it from the sequel, where I don't really feel like the first game really was using that as inspiration. There was I think the name of the movie is The Cage. There was a sequel to it. Unfortunately, both of those movies were just too weird to be successes. And I have no idea what I'm looking at, but it looks like some kind of art piece through murder and through this magical freezing people in the moments of their deaths. Let's see. Can we jump over? No. See, I don't know if we're in a bad position, a dangerous position or not.
Christ.
And see, now there's just too many bodies. So at this point, it's other people's. Here we hearing a growl. People being strung up. Let's investigate. So you have a puppeteer and some puppets. What does it say? Rebirth. But see, these don't even look really like bodies as much as they are maybe mannequins. But down here are probably body parts. Feels like we might come back at some point and see this whole movie museum filled with more photos, and this might be a place we visit multiple times. And see, if we're hearing this growling monster sound, then I don't know how we fight it since we have no weapons. Probably a chase sequence. Honestly, I don't know if you could have done anything more. There's little photos up here with the movie The Cage to make it successful. Yeah, this might be the open world hub area. Even if you tried to release it now as like a cult hit, like direct to demand services, put it on something like Netflix, put it on something like maybe Shudder. That's the new horror streaming service that I've been hearing a lot about. I think the budget for it would have been still so high that it would have failed. And the only reason The Cage even has any relevance is that they had a very highly renowned actress play the lead. So we're gonna crawl through this, and we can see some dead bodies. They definitely want us to know how to crouch, which is crazy because at this point I would have had to gotten out of the crouch ability twice without the game really telling me how to do that. And I definitely remember playing an Evil Within 1 and doing a lot of this. So we're seeing human feet hanging, although I'm not sure if that one's really hanging because I can't see a rope. Nope, this one's on the spike. So we've got some on spikes, some hanging. Of course, since you're in the mind of people, they seem to be connected or easily bumped even if you're not anywhere near them. Yeah. And very wobbly legs where you would assume that they would be more rigid if they were dead. But yeah, you're in the mind of someone, and so these could be fantasies of killing people, not so much. There's a camera set up now on that wall instead of that being the way we came in. So we got close enough to this direction. So yeah, fantasizing about killing people in this fashion can be dangerous, certainly, and a symptom of insanity, but can also just be a normal, harmless fantasy. For example, all the people that worked on this game and made this scene, for instance, I doubt all of them are psychopathic killers. I doubt any of them are psychopathic killers. So yeah, you get into a weird situation there. And see, are these all looking at you? And is that supposed to be creepy that you have like this feeling that they're all lined up looking at you? Like, it's kind of hard to tell. And then you just get a picture taken of you, but not killed. So he's either gonna toy with you, or you're dying and then not remembering that you're dying over and over again. And see, now we're in a very different looking place. Still bloody, still creepy. Now there's a mirror that seems to fade out a reflection of you through being foggy. And then it seems to get brighter, and then dimmer, brighter. This would not be a game that has the ray tracing technology on it, so it's not surprising that this is not perfect reflections or as nice of reflections as we can do now. It is reflecting you. It's not like your reflection is doing something different than what you're doing, but he seems to just wander and wobble his flashlight from one point to another. I'm not pushing any buttons right now, and just look at the massive amount of movements he's making. It's a little too much. So now we have a picture of ourselves. And this definitely feels like the sister. There was this memory of a sister, I suppose, is the best way to put it, that would chase us around in a couple sequences. And honestly, I guess she probably was not a bad idea to be thrown in here, because she was fairly, or maybe not. She was fairly late into the first game, and you had already kind of done some stealth sequences, and it seems like they've skipped the introductory stealth sequence in this case, and instead,
damn it, what the hell is that thing?
And gone with the chase sequence, which feels smarter, certainly. Here we've got a rat. Like, I thought for a second that we were gonna follow the rat. And then I thought for a second there we might run away from, run backwards from it.
Oh, I don't hear it.
See, we're now in like a school lab, or just a lab in general. And the game kind of taking my focus away.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
See, it says press left stick to sprint, consume stamina. And it seems like we're chasing And he threw a knife in us, and I guess we're gonna grab this knife and then slice her up. So the photographer in some crazy way helped us, whether he intended to or not. So it's a decent sequence to transition you from being helpless and having a chase sequence to now having a knife. But what typically happens in games like this is that you will now quickly jump from having a knife to having a gun, and you'll kind of quickly forget about having the knife. In Resident Evil 4, the knife was actually the most powerful weapon, particularly after you'd played the game once and had an upgraded knife. But in most of the other Resident Evil games, knives either break or are just not that powerful. So I wouldn't be surprised if, since this is one of the creators of, I think, Resident Evil 4, if the knife is pretty powerful. We have an automatic health regeneration. It will regenerate up until a certain point. It regenerates quickly if you stand still, so try to find a safe place and recover when it's in critical condition. So is the point the red line or the second red line that's all the way to the top? It seems like it was to the first red line. It definitely feels like, compared to something like Resident Evil 7, which this game came out before then, there's definitely a lot of stuff here that you could probably want to play with or look at or pick up and examine more of. But yeah, even looking outside here, you're just looking up on the side of a hill. You would never build a house like this. That's really dumb. All the rain would go right into the ground under your house, causing your house to shift or cause flooding if it really rains. Like, you want your houses at the top of hills as much as possible.
And now where am I?
Seems like a house, if not your house. This must be the house of either one of the victims or the killer, the photographer killer, or the girl. Now they are going to lose points fairly quickly if they just throw in a lot of the enemies from the first game without throwing in new enemies, because all the enemies in the first game were kind of unique and special to that character. Take note, there's no mirror here, so they're only going to show us mirrors in special instances, not in just generic usages. This definitely feels like the beginning of Resident Evil 4, although it's been quite a while. Now we have a medical syringe that looks the same as the first game. You can't say I'm gonna hate on that. That's fine. Like, geez, if you're just gonna have bags of trash and bottles everywhere, bottles which, by the way, are way out of scale, just bigger than people's heads. Yeah, you might as well just throw the trash out the window at that point. Let's go in here. See, in the first game we would find rooms with mirrors that would let us transport back to our office or the hospital in the first game. I just got the call. Now I know the reason that all this weird stuff has been happening to us. First day is it's the worst possible scenario, but at least I don't have to pretend anymore. The things I've seen, they've all changed. It's too late to save them. It's time for my training to to put my training to practice. May God have mercy on their souls and mine. Okay, so we've got another file and we're 440, so theoretically we're press the back button and navigate to the file tab. See, now we are starting to actually be able to do things. And there's definitely a lot of spoilers in all of this. Minimum minor spoilers. And knowing that we'll have a crossbow gun, for instance. Which, no duh, of course, was in the first game. Now, in the first game, walking through a door like this, you'd think it would just teleport you to a completely different location. But no, I don't think that's going to be the case. And boy, did I call that. Like, typically in a game, yeah, as soon as you get a knife, they just want to give you a gun. Make you forget about the knife. There definitely was an opportunity to fight through several enemies with a knife only. This photo, I thought it was lost in the fire forever. I remember when we took this, Lily's breath smelled like cotton candy. Myra never looked more beautiful. Feels like this this picture might be getting more and more burnt every time you look at it too.
What did I get myself into?
You just pulled that out of nowhere.
Where have you been? We lost you.
I don't know. But it sure as hell wasn't a quaint little town. There's something bad happening in here, Kidman. Baker is dead. There's a killer running around in here, doing things that are... It's like Beacon all over again. What the fuck did you just send me into?
I don't know. We're in the dark out here. Baker was the team leader. If he's dead, that doesn't bode well for the rest of them. Keep searching around. The more info you gather, the more I'll be able to help you.
Yeah. Sure.
Hold left bump to select a weapon from the arsenal menu. And assigning that to a D-pad. This also tells us that we'll be collecting red gel, which is new, plus weapon parts, plus high-grade weapons parts, which makes a very different game. It's a funny idea that the team leader would just be so much better at something, at surviving, than anybody else on the team. Well, this is the knife. How do we pull out the gun? I guess I probably can't equip it because I don't have any bullets. I'm guessing that's the way this is all going to play out. And there's definitely a lot of very obvious walls. Feels like either these walls are going to get taken down at some point, which I kind of doubt. Can we look at the map? Like, it does seem like we are kind of in the middle of a map that seems to me like it's going to be very large. So maybe we're kind of in a central safe area, and some of this will disappear and some of these trees will disappear after this becomes less of a linear experience. It would be nice if they threw in some narrative reason why this city is going to be crawling with monsters, which we know it will be. So we can break windows, but oddly nothing in there.
Poor son of a bitch. Left here to rot like this.
Oddly nothing to pick up, and all I'm doing is like letting the flies out somewhat. Like, is it really worth it to try and break every window on this car? I don't think I can. There's like no jump button. And the angles of where I swing are not super controllable. And
Poor
having
Sebastian. It's just a small, quiet town.
the
Yeah.
flashlights.
Too quiet.
And apparently you can't climb up even the smallest of hill. This might have been a better sequence to just have as a cutscene. Having him walk through this area and accelerate it. It does kind of feel like at the moment the city is fairly empty.
Hello? Hey!
Hmm.
She had to have heard me. Better check it out.
It's very possible that everybody in this simulation is crazy and having their own like crazy different perception of reality compared to you, and so we're gonna have something
Hello?
like maybe a haunting ghost story happen.
Gotta eat. Skin and bones. Gotta eat. Clean your plate. Gotta eat. Skin and bones.
Yeah, a lot of this does feel
Said eat.
this really does feel like it's just a something that either Resident Evil 7 stole from this game, or the creators of the two games talked, like, because there definitely are some elements here that feel like they are from the Resident Evil 7 trailer even. I didn't have any bullets, so where I got that bullet, I don't know. Unless bullets just show up based on your own mental way of thinking. You have bullets because you think you have bullets. That's the problem of being in a imaginary world. Yeah, that does not look good.
Oh, God.
And I'm on the highest graphic setting, and even then that doesn't really look that good. So, 2 bullets, 1 to the head. Remember, I don't have aim assist on, but on easy that was still fairly easy to do.
Kidman.
That was fast. Did you learn anything new?
Yeah, I did. I learned that it really is like Beacon in here. The people in here are turning into creatures.
Damn it. What the hell happened?
I don't know. But it means that Lily is in more danger than just being lost.
Sebastian,
Save it, Kidman. Leave it to me. I'm gonna find her.
So, one thing I guess that a lot of games have done in the past is always had the character in the background like this, so only their back of their hair had to be animated nicely. Now that you can kind of turn around, I'm guessing what maybe is not being explained well here is that there were a lot of other people that weren't Mobius team members in this city, and that's going to be the justification for the large amount of enemies. Okay, what I want to do is I want to stick that down this way, and we can just use that to get our health up. We now have like 4 bullets and 1 medical syringe, and this guy is just mashed up. I was wondering if being forced to eat was going to turn him into a monster also, but doesn't seem like we can preemptively kill him. And then I feel like we may get some creepy poltergeist like thing with the creepy TV. So before we do that, let's check upstairs. A lot of blank photographs that feels like they're hinting at something. A lot of weirdly high light switches that feel like they would have been something you could have activated at some point. We have apparently the ability we can climb over that edge. There's weirdness with the first game that going through any door would have potentially taken you to a different area. So it feels a little weird, to say the least, that now they kind of want you to be comfortable enough to wander around and investigate. They've changed the game quite a bit by making it more of an open world thing. And yeah, that's a delicate balance. So okay, we turned off the TV. Then we turn on the TV. And we still seem to have like a cursor that points to things on a rare occasion. But yeah, honestly doesn't feel like it's actually pointing to anything. It's just pointing to like this door. Yeah, seems like you just kind of point to this door. And I'm just gonna play almost all the game in with the flashlight on. And let's see. Search for the Mobius search team within STEM, and for a lead or finding Lily. We're just kind of moving forward. Feels like you should probably have been given some more motivation to move forward. Right, let's see, right trigger breaks these things, and so we're now getting more bullets, but it seems like our gun can only hold 4 bullets at a time. So it does definitely feel like it. Either I need something stronger to break these, or these just never break. Yeah. On more difficult levels, if it takes 3-4 shots to kill a simple creature, that's gonna be a pain. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually hit a point where like you can climb on top of this. This feels more like Dead Rising than a Resident Evil type game. I guess I'll just look around them. Yeah, really slow to get to this point where it probably would have been easier and better to just start the game with him like falling out of the sky and landing here, and then a zombie attacking you within like 5 minutes of being there. That initial hotel section and that little tutorial stealth section and the setup of the bad guy, all kind of not needed. It feels like we're basically running into 2 intro sections back to back, which is weird. It does put us at, like, we're nearly an hour and a half into this game, and we're just now starting to actually see what the game was. And if we're seeing 2 intro sections, that makes me think that there was an A team and a B team. And see, this feels very actiony and not very horror-ish. And they didn't establish that building.
Mobius members. Some of them are still alive then. Damn. But those things are everywhere.
Yeah, this is just like way too many people.
Get in there and squeeze that guy for info.
Stealth and sneak kills. Enter stealth mode with the right stick. Attack unaware enemies from behind with a sneak kill. You get a prompt here. Is my light on? Sneaking around this. I feel like I kind of missed my opportunity to kill that guy, but I don't think it really matters so much. We have different senses of alertness, so yeah, this does feel very much like a like that doesn't work. Sneak kill unaware enemy, it says. Yeah, that's not working. And it says sit in wheelchairs to upgrade your attack. I don't think I can get this without breaking that. And apparently breaking that doesn't create enough of a noise to get people's attention. And there's no investigation here, but we do have just another dead human body. This really makes it seem almost like this City of Union was an attempt by Mobius to trick a bunch of people into thinking that they were still in reality, or put a lot of psychological patience. Alright, so what's the button? A? And that's bloody, certainly. Now, will the bad guys always give us goo? No. Doesn't look like they will. Or at least in this instance, they didn't want me to.
Shit.
So am I doing a quick time event here?
Oh, fuck. Alright. Hopefully that'll hold.
Like, why not shoot him right now? Like, wouldn't that be the wiser thing? I guess the problem here is you just don't know how many of these zombies exist, and it seems like it's probably going to be an infinite number. And we are going to have some stuff. Clearly just to search and find collectibles. Interesting, a little shininess on the belt on his gun holster. Let's see. I wonder how many medical syringes I can have. Might as well play it carefully and stay at a moderate health. That way I don't get one hit killed. And this is a side table that I thought would have a drawer, but apparently not. This feels like we're going to just walk through the store and end up somewhere different, but maybe we're not going to do any of that. You can see he's wearing his wedding ring still.
Don't come any closer!
Okay, calm down. Don't shoot. I'm not gonna hurt you. See?
He's gonna give up his gun immediately after just getting it.
I'm on your side.
You're not Mobius. You might not be one of those things, but that doesn't mean you're on my side.
You're right. I don't work for Mobius.
Yes, you do.
Here by them.
Have you seen what those things out there? What they can do?
Yeah, I have.
Not really.
For you, your partner was willing to sacrifice himself so you could escape.
He wasn't my partner. He was just a member of Union security detail. Protecting me was his job, and my job is to solve a hardware issue. Dying inside here is above my pay grade. I'm not a soldier. I'm just a technician.
I don't know why he's trying to steal the gun from him.
Stop, or I'll shoot! No!
He doesn't have any bullets? Is that what he saw?
A soldier would have taken the safety off. I told you, we're on the same side.
See, this is one of these scenes that is written to be as a high action sequence when you really don't need it. You could have just talked your way through that completely.
I'm O'Neill. Liam O'Neill. So you're not Mobius, but they sent you in here?
That's like a completely different voice actor, or at least recording set it.
Just like you are.
Yeah?
We went from a pre-rendered cutscene to a...
I'm just gonna hold out here until extraction.
They can't extract you. Not until Lily is found.
Who's Lily?
Look, everyone is stuck in here until the core is located. Can you help me out?
If you're asking me to go out there with you, you can forget about it. This is a safe house, so I'm staying safe. Got me? But I may have a lead on the core. I detected some signals nearby that resonate at the core's frequency.
So this guy's just gonna be an NPC.
Here, listen to this. It sounds like a little girl, right?
Quiet. Was that her? The core?
I think so. But I've been picking up all sorts of weird signals on my communicator since we got here. No way to know for sure until you track it to its source.
How do I do that?
Your communicator can pick it up too. Once you're out there, check it. You'll see. You'll probably pick up other signals while you're out there. It wouldn't hurt to follow them to find out what...
No way. The core first. It's the only way we're getting out of here.
Suit yourself.
Let's pair up our communicators. That way I can tell you if I find anything.
Yeah, okay. Can't hurt, I guess.
Interesting. And so now it is something just completely different from what was in the first game, where you have dialogue choices and an NPC character. Probably the reason why this game won't get a third game in the series is this alone. Just such a drastic change. When you look at the only time I've really seen that succeed very well is with Assassin's Creed 1 turning into Assassin's Creed 2. And even in that case, it really wasn't until Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which was like the third game in the series, that they started to shift really far. And at this point, Assassin's Creed Origins has shifted that series to yet a third way to play, not too different from this style of game. And the reason why this game was shifted this way is probably a lot more to do with hoping that it would be a success and would keep people playing for DLC or even microtransactions, instead of just sticking with more of a older traditional Resident Evil style of gameplay.
So you've been stuck in here a week already?
Has it been that long? Damn. Time's a little fluid in here. This was supposed to be a simple in and out job. Like home in time for dinner simple. But this is different than anything I've ever seen before.
What do you mean?
Wonky stuff usually happens when a core goes AWOL, but what's happening is more than that. This place is falling apart at the seams. We used the stable field emitter, but it's not working like it's supposed to.
What's the stable field emitter?
If Mobius sent you in here, shouldn't you know this stuff already?
Yeah, that is a good point. Like, why didn't they not brief me at all and just throw me into the stem?
There were 5 members of your team?
There was a security force already in here to help us. But yeah, there are 5 search team members. Wait, did you just say were?
I found Baker. He's dead.
Huh. Doesn't surprise me. He locked onto a powerful signal and went to investigate. I told him we should just request extraction and report our findings, leave the dangerous work to somebody else. But he wouldn't hear of it, being team leader and all. Always had to be the brave one. You ask me, there's a thin line between brave and foolish.
Yeah. There's a thin line between prudent and cowardly, too.
Tomato, tomato. I'm not saying I'm glad he's dead. What kind of asshole do you think I am?
I have no idea.
I'll let you know
Other
if
than
I
you
find
work for
anything else.
Mobius.
You'd really do that? Thanks. I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, and you can tell by the outfit that he's wearing that they've designed it in such a way that we'll run into other people with the exact same body model with just a different head.
It's more dangerous out there than I expected. Any idea where I can get some weapons and supplies?
I tried to tell you about this one signal, but you didn't want to hear it.
Well, I'm all ears now.
I picked something up from 2 Mobius security team members who were talking about weapons caches. Maybe you can follow it and get some gear. Maybe they're out there, can help you out.
I'll think about it.
Come on, man. I'm all alone.
It's kind of
here.
funny, this guy has like a bald shaved head, and then he has like a
Whatever.
white patch on the back of his head.
Follow it or
Either
don't
that
follow it.
or it's a
I don't care.
reflection. You don't see that in games very much. I can't move the camera to see it, but you can definitely see there's like a scar in the back of his head. And you usually don't see bald characters in games. I feel like our character probably should at some point fairly quickly also change his appearance to be a little bit more militarized, a little bit more cleaned up. It's a little weird to have a strand of hair right in front of his eyes. And he does definitely look like more of a Nathan Drake-like character who would just be a rogue thief running around compared to a police character, which of course he's a police character who's lost his badge and lost his family, but I don't know if grief-stricken and slob have to be put together. He really does kind of feel like more of a slob than anything else.
Those things are pretty tough. Takes a lot of ammo to get them off my back. Do you have anything stronger in here?
Not in here, but you could probably find some out there. This place was designed to be peaceful, but Mobius and firepower go hand in hand.
Do you know where I can find some of this firepower?
It's pretty chaotic out there. You're not going to find a pile of heavy-duty weapons altogether. But I did see something useful next to an abandoned APC just outside. I'll mark its location for you. But be
APC?
careful. There are a lot of those things hanging around it.
Is that Army Personnel Carrier or America's Power Company? Like, might have been helpful to say what that was. Alright, so over here we've got some more weapon parts, and we'll be collecting those. I feel like we did have some weapon parts in the first game. In this area, I can't swing a knife. Drinking coffee at the coffee maker will restore you to full health. Coffee makers will automatically begin brewing another pot after use, but the process takes some time to complete. Oh, so I did waste a health energy. This is a cool idea. You don't see a lot of characters drinking coffee. I guess in Japan, since a lot of games are made from Japanese people, coffee is slightly less popular than like tea. Supply box. The continents will replenish over time. Be sure to check back. So they really did just design this game, this world, in a way that that was oddly video game like, and you're oddly capable of building guns and shooting guns. Which, if I was going to create a false reality, I would just conveniently leave out guns. But I also think we will probably run into a scenario where we don't have a lot of enemies that would require fighting with guns. I bet the enemies never pick up guns. Okay. So right now we have an ammo capacity that we can upgrade, and firepower. Which apparently at some point we would need to get our firepower up to level 2 to then increase the ammo capacity more. So yeah. So it kind of feels like this level 2 upgrade in particular increases after you get 2 tiers up on anything, and you probably don't have to upgrade this multiple times, but it is a gating system designed to make sure that you can't do anything else. And apparently our knife won't be upgradable, and while you're carrying the maximum amount of bullets, select field crafting icon from the arsenal menu to craft items without using a workbench. Field crafting consumes more resources than crafting at a workbench, and you can't upgrade weapons via field crafting. Yeah, this whole system really does feel a lot like Dead Rising, and it really does then feel like you're gonna be having to do quite a lot of crafting on the go. Otherwise you're gonna end up wandering around. And then we have a mirror section. It'll take us back to our office where we can upgrade, I guess, maybe our health and statistics in the wheelchair in the office. We'll have to see in the next recording. Let's go ahead and save. Might as well just make a new slot. It does definitely feel like this is going to be a game where we will get to the map and we will get side missions, and we will wander around as far as side missions, and that'll be that. As far as the zooming goes, it doesn't even seem like the city's going to be that big. Nor does it feel like the game is going to be that long. And let's just mark everything as being seen. Yeah, residual memories. We picked up bottles, but we didn't use them. I don't know if we have any actual body bottles at all. And then slides seem like are going to be fewer and far bit further between. See, I don't get what I just upgraded as far as ammo capacity. Did I upgrade the maximum number of bullets, or did I upgrade the number of bullets in a clip? I thought I was going to upgrade the number of bullets in the clip, which is much more useful. But you do run into a questionable situation here where I'm not really sure that I need to upgrade everything. It feels like the game could be pretty short if you want to make it pretty short. It feels like we could just turn on infinite stamina mode and run around through the whole game if we wanted to. Clearly they want you to do stealth kills, but I'm not sure if we even saw anything that said stealth kills would give us more green goo. I'm not sure if we're getting less green goo because we're playing on easy. That might be the case too, or if we're getting more because we're playing on easy. So it may bounce out in a weird way. This definitely does feel different. Feels much more like a open world zombie game. Something I wouldn't really compare it to Dying Light, but Dead Rising, it probably feels like it's close to that compared to what the first game was. And it does also feel like the first game's graphics were better. They probably weren't, and I'm probably just misremembering it, or there was some cutscene at the very beginning of the Evil Within 1. But yeah, right now, even on ultra settings, unless there's just something misconfigured, this does not feel like a game from just a few years ago. This feels like a game from 10 plus years ago in the graphics. It's not bad, it's just a little older than it should be. Anyways, we went long here. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.